Happy Thursday, friends. Keep in mind, we do not have school tomorrow, so this is actually going to be our last math lesson of the week. Today's date is April the 9th, 2020. When finished today, your IXL assignment will be E10. And the lesson title for today is Dividing Larger Numbers, okay? Fear not. This is very similar to the work that we've been working on this week as we've had kind of our division recap unit here. I'm going to get us started. Keep in mind, multiply, subtract, bring it on down, and bring it on back. Okay, that's the name of the game today. The first problem I'm going to have us look at is going to be 456 divided by 4. Well, you might be thinking, Mr. Hogan, I totally don't need to do this anymore, but I personally think it's helpful. If you're well beyond it, keep on cruising. But I like to list out the multiples or the jobs of my divisor. I'll list out my 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, so on and so forth. I start by covering up everything except for the largest number, and I look to see if there is a multiple of 4 that can get me as close to it. Well, 4 times 1 gives me 4. 4 times 1 is 4. Multiply, subtract, bring it on down, and bring it on back. What can I multiply 4 by that gets me as close to 5 without going over? Well, my options really are 4 or 8. 8 is too big, so it must be 4. 4 times 1 again. 4 times 1 is 4. I subtract. I have 1 that's left over. Bring it on down. Bigger numbers today. And bring it on back. What can I multiply 4 by that gets me as close to 16 as possible? 4, 8, 12, perfect match. 16, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 4 is 16. When I subtract, I have a remainder of 0. So my final answer here is 114. Voila. Keep on cruising. This one's going to look oddly familiar. 456, but divided by 5. Let's go at this problem here today. My multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, so on and so forth. I cover everything up. Is there anything I can multiply 5 by that gets me to 4, gets me as close to 4 without going over? Well, the smallest multiple would be that 0, but there's nothing really there. So in this situation, I'm going to scoot over 1 place value. What can I multiply 5 by that gets me as close to 45 without going over? Well, 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is 45. 5 times 9 is 45. Subtract, 0 remain, bring it on down, and bring it on back. 5 times 1 gets me as close to 6 without going over. 6 minus 5 is 1. My final answer here should be 91 with a remainder of 1. Okay, 3-digit numbers, same kinds of rules apply as we move into 4-digit numbers. Let's see. My jobs of 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, so on and so forth. Anything I can multiply 7 by that gives me 2? Nah, nothing yet. So I'll scoot over. Well, what gets me as close to 21 without going over? 1, 2, 3. 7 times 3 is 21. Don't let that comma scare you. 21 minus 21 is 0. I bring my 7 down. 7 times 1 gives me 7. I subtract, I have 0, and I bring my 4 down. Now this is kind of an odd place to be. Notice that I still don't have an answer here above that 4 in the problem, but I have brought down another number. what could I multiply 7 by that gets me as close to 4 without going over? Well, my smallest number that I have listed here, the smallest number that I have listed here is 7, but don't forget, there's always that 0 there. So actually, in this situation, 7 times 0 gets me as close to 4 as possible. 7 times 0 is 0. When I subtract 4 minus 0, I have 4. So my final answer here is actually 310 with a remainder of 4. Okay? Be paying attention. Be mindful of if you have your final digit there when you set up your problem. Last problem of the week for you, friends, before I have you get started. We're looking at the problem 1,503 divided by 3. Listing out my jobs real quick. And actually, let's pause here. I would like this one to be your pause and try for the day. Pause this video, set this equation up as you see, 1,503 divided by 3. Pause for me. My jobs are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, so on, so forth. There is nothing I can multiply 3 by, and I'll even put that imaginary 0 there. There's nothing I can multiply 3 by that gives me 1 at the beginning of this problem, so I'll slide over. 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives me 15. When I subtract, I have 0 that remains, and I bring down my next 0. 3 times what gets me as close to 0 without going over? Well, 3 times 1 is 3. The only other thing I can multiply 3 by to get 0 would be 0 itself. And this looks kind of silly when we go through this step, but it's very important that you're not skipping that. If there's a 0, if you run into a place that's smaller than your divisor, don't forget that 0 is always that hidden multiplier that you can go off of. 3 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. But it now allows me to bring down my final digit. 3 obviously times 1 gives me 3. I subtract, making my final answer 501. Boys and girls, this is going to be the work that you are going to try out today. Remember, you're working on assignment E10 today, okay? 15 to 20 minutes. I recommend scratch paper. You got it. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Be well and stay safe.